Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. And yes, this is a bookish driving vlog. Because I am running errands today, so I thought, why not do a bookish driving vlog while I'm running errands? I'm actually going from one Target to the next. Because I have this favorite t-shirt. It's a black, it's Target brand and it's Goodfellas brand, and it's the black ones that are crew neck that have a pocket. And I don't know why, because they just usually have them year round, but for some reason they don't have them right now. They have like a couple that are on sale, but they haven't had them in my size. So we're going from, well, I'm going from Target to Target to try to find these black t-shirts in my size. So anyway, how are you guys doing today? Let me get a little bit of lip balm going on over here. Okay, so I've got some reading news. Well, first of all, I want to say, you guys, it is almost my 5-year anniversary of being on Booktube. I can hardly believe it. May 11th will be my 5-year anniversary of being on Booktube, and I just feel so blessed to be part of this community. And I just love it. I love to talk about books, and I love that I have other people to talk about books with, and I love to read your comments when I am talking about a certain book, or I get a lot of recommendations from you guys, and it's just really cool. And, you know, every year it's like one new thing happens as a result of Booktube that profoundly changes my overall life, not just my, you know, reading life or whatever. And, you know, several years ago I started a book club that then turned into a true crime book club with Mel, and meeting Mel has literally been a godsend. I mean, she's hands down probably, I mean, other than my friend Tanya and Valerie here, she's one of my, next to Tanya, she's probably like closest friend in life. I mean, we talk all the time, text all the time. I absolutely adore her. And to think that that all came as a result of me starting a Booktube channel, and I was so terrified to do that, is like such a great lesson for everybody out there in life to, if you're thinking about doing something, just start it today, especially if it's something positive and creative. Just start it today, you know, do it today, because you don't know what it's going to lead to, what doors it's going to open, you know? No, I'm not making, you know, $200,000 a year off of Booktube, and I don't get sent many free books from publishers. Every once in a while I do, you know? But, you know, it's like, those are the things that, like, I don't really care about that, you know, like, I have made amazing friends as a result of Booktube. I have found out about some books that I never would have read. I mean, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, The Hate You Give, Dumplin', I'm trying to think of what other ones, The Underground Railroad. I mean, so many books, you guys, I would just never have read had it not been for being on Booktube. So that meeting Mel was one of the greatest things. But, you know, in the last year, I have to say that one of the greatest things that happened to me was being introduced to cozy mysteries. And I know that that sounds corny, and you're like, well, how does that affect your overall how does that profoundly affect your overall life? You know, the reality is that I was kind of going through a phase where, you know, I had read a lot of young adult for a while, and that was what I had written originally. And I wasn't really sure of what I wanted to write next. I had been like writing and then stopping and then writing and stopping for years, literally. And I was like reading a lot of good books, but I didn't really feel that passion that I had back in the day to like find the best book in this genre, or by the best book by this author or whatever. You know, like I didn't feel like, I wasn't excited about, I was reading so many standalones. I always said I didn't like series, that I wasn't, you know, I just wasn't as excited about it as I had been before. Really, the only thing that was pushing me was that I wanted to read 100 books in a year, which is great too, you know. But when I was introduced to Cozy Mysteries last year, and all of the recommendations you guys gave me, and all of the authors that you suggested to me that I've looked into, and so many of I've downloaded and have on my Audible, and you know, and the websites, and the different people now that I, you know, watch that cover, because there's whole booktubers that just cover Cozy Mysteries, you know, and that introduction to that whole genre of reading. You know, I've always read for enjoyment and escapism, and that whole introduction to that genre really, like, at a point in my life where I was focusing so much on peace and serenity and having peace and serenity in my life, it really calmed me down, because it's this whole genre that is just, they're feel-good books with eccentric characters that make me happy. But then there's also a mysterious element to it. And it's like the perfect book for me, you know? And so it's like, even though I keep on reading other stuff in between, I keep on going back to the Cozy Mysteries because they make me so happy, you know? And in fact, when I was reading a lot of the true crime and stuff like that, which I love as well, Tanya was like, I think you need to read, my best friend Tanya was like, I think you need to read a Cozy Mystery, you know? Because I was like going real dark talking about all this true crime. One of the other greatest things that has happened in 2021 is the starting of Peter's Book Club, which is just where I pick a book every month, put it on Instagram, and then whoever wants to read it with me reads it with me. So I, for March, picked Sanatorium and Sanatorium. I've had such a hard time pronouncing this title. And I didn't really know anything about it other than it was on the bestseller list. It was getting great reviews, and Reese Witherspoon had picked it for her book club. So I was like, okay, can't go wrong with that, right? I like Reese Witherspoon, and I like the New York Times bestseller list. Although sometimes I don't think the books that are on there belong to be on there, deserve to be on there. So I you know, made that my March book, and that book club has been so much fun too. You know, it's like, the authors and the publishers have been so welcoming to me, as far as like, I will say this, like if you're on Booktube or you're on Bookstagram or whatever, tag the publishers and the authors for every book that you post about, because I had never done that before, and as soon as I did it, like for January and February, both months, the publisher reached out to me. And, oh, you know what, I have to announce the April book for True Crime Book Club. Okay, well, I'll have to do that sometime this week. But, yeah, I was, like, I had never tagged them in that before. And then all of a sudden they're reaching out to me and they're like, thank you for tagging, you know, us and your thing. And we're really excited that you chose. I mean, they were just genuinely so nice. So, you know, like, I think it, and then, like, you know, Courtney Summers, I got to talk to her, like, in DMs, and she was talking to other people that were, like, reading the book, and you know, she was very active, and what I have found is that a lot of these authors are super, super active in talking to their readers, and, you know, Jax Miller, who wrote Hell in the Heartland, it's so hot in this car, Jax Miller, who wrote Hell in the Heartland, which was our February true crime book, she was, I mean, she's become just, you know, I consider her a friend. Now we've talked, you know, in DMs and stuff like that, and she's very cool. And so I think, like, you know, and social media is an outlet to be able to talk to your authors that, you know, like, I mean, even if you're just, like, tweeting them or commenting on their Instagram pictures or whatever, you know, I think it's a really cool way to interact with the authors that work really, really hard, honestly. I mean, these are people that are sitting down at a computer, you know, longhand, writing things down on notepads, you know, notes here, notes there, spending hours to put together characters and storylines that we end up falling in love with, you know, and rightfully so, they should have people that love their work. So, starting that book club has been really, really great. Well, I started this week reading Sanatorium, and I finished it late last night. You guys, it is so good. It is so, so good. And kind of on the heels of me saying that, like, some book that I read recently reminded me, oh, I read And Then There Were None, the Agatha Christie book. And I said, you know, like, Agatha Christie mysteries were really great when I was growing up as a kid. But now there's, like, such sophisticated mysteries that I'm really, like, not into it as much anymore. Well, it was interesting because this book was kind of like, felt like it was a spin on an Agatha Christie book, like, from back in the day. It took place in the Swiss Alps at this sanatorium turned luxury hotel. The only way in was to get there by this, like, narrow road or by helicopter in emergency situations. There's an avalanche that occurs, there's a blizzard, snowstorm. It was very Agatha Christie feeling, and then all these people are getting murdered, you know? It was so good, and I mean, I'm telling you, the end of it, like the last third, twisted and turned so much, and I had absolutely no idea where it was going. None whatsoever. It was just beautifully, beautifully written, beautifully done. You still have time to read it. So, I mean, you can read it whenever if you want, but it's the March book. And yeah, it just was such a great book, and I was so excited about it. Starting it, and then I just, like, rushed right through it. I wanted to finish it by the end of this week because did I mention this already on here? I don't know, but Alex and I are, I think I did. Alex and I are going to Florida tomorrow morning. If you, like, I feel like I said this already. I don't know if I did or not, but Alex and I are going down there to look at property because we, for a long time, wanted to, like, have a place in Florida and a place here, and so, like, we've been trying to work towards that goal eventually, and you know, save and save and save so that we could do that. So, but we need to kind of know, like, what area we really want to be in, and what realistically that looks like for us, and, you know, what areas we can do too. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, I'd like to have a, you know, 4-bedroom townhouse right on Ocean Drive in Miami, South Beach, but there's what I want and there's what I can do, and there's, you know, those are two completely different things. So, but anyway, it's a goal that we're working towards. It's not going to happen immediately, but in the next couple of years. But we really want to start realistically looking, you know, in case something would pop up. That was what, you know, ideally what we were looking for. So anyway, I had wanted to, because I was going to start a Black Coral by Andrew Mayne, and then this trip, like, came up. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to save Black Coral by Andrew Mayne because Black Coral is the sequel to The Girl at the Bottom of the Sea. It was, like, his original. I think the series is called The Underwater Investigations or something. You guys, and it's about this detective named Sloane, and I forgot how much I loved her. I read the first book, like, last year sometime, last fall or late summer, and so this is the second one in the series. It's going to be an ongoing series. And she's a diver for the Fort Lauderdale Police Department, and I love it so much. And, like, right out of the gate, she has to go into this lake that this car has been submerged in, and there's, like, this huge alligator that's, like, 1,000 pounds, like, literally 1,000 pounds, and his name is Big Bill. It's so good. It's like, and I didn't want to listen to too much of it last night because I'm saving it for Florida, and then I was also looking at books for Florida because I was like, okay, I want a really good mystery that takes place in South Florida. So speaking of Mel has tried to get me to read those Dexter books forever. They're, like, one of her favorite series. So, look at that cute Jeep. It's like a light blue vintage little Jeep. Anyway, so I downloaded the first Dexter book. You're welcome, Mel. No, I'm really excited about it, though. So I'm going to read that. I kind of took the long way to go to Target so that I could talk for a little bit longer. Because I like talking to you guys. But anyway, so I'm going to hopefully read that one down there as well. And then I bought a book. Shoot, I don't remember what it's called. Central Park or something. Okay, you guys, this book looks so good. This is going to be my book to read while I'm there. I got it at Target. I'd never heard of this book. It's about this woman, and she's from Paris. And she's, like, an artist or a photographer or something, and she's out, like, the last thing she remembers is being out, like, partying with her friends in Paris. She wakes up the next day in New York City. I think it's called Central Park. It's a mystery thriller. She wakes up the next day handcuffed to this chair or just handcuffed to a stranger. I don't know. She's sitting on this park bench, and she's handcuffed to this stranger, and he's from Dublin, and the last thing that he remembers is being in Dublin in this park. Well, they have to figure out, like, over the course of 24 hours, so it's told, like, kind of like in real time, which I love books like that. Dan Brown writes his books like that. They have to find out over the course of 24 hours, like, what's been going on, and, like, who's doing this to them. And it's, like, somebody that, like, some person that used to be in their life that has some kind of vendetta or something like that. Doesn't that sound so good? I just realized this whole school was taken down. I just realized that, and I think it's been down for, like, months. And I drive by here all the time. Isn't that so crazy? Do you ever do that? You're like, oh, I guess that Dairy Queen's not there anymore, is it? Now it's a luxury apartments. That is so Indiana. They're always taking things down and, like, turning them into luxury apartments. Because, of course, we need more luxury apartments, you know, in a strip mall. I quite frankly prefer Dairy Queen. A little hand-dipped cone for you. Anyway. So that's what's going on. And then, no, I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. So anyway, if you're reading Sanatorium, let me know. Let me know what you think of it. If you're not, why aren't you? You should. And the March true crime book is People Who Eat Darkness. And I actually haven't started it yet. Mel just started it, and she said she really, really likes it. She's really into it, is what she said. And then I'll probably film it today. Our announcement for the next book in a true crime book club. So, very excited. The next one, Mel and I are actually, we worked with a publisher, and they reached out to us about it. It's a publisher that I worked with Peter's Book Club, but then they were like, hey, would you like to do a true crime book? And I said, would we? Are you kidding? And they're giving away free copies and everything, so it's very cool. I'm really excited about it. So anyway, all right, you guys, I'm gonna get off here now because I'm almost at Target. All these people are pulling into Taco Bell. Taco Bell does kind of sound good right now, but I think I don't need a mid-afternoon snack. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.